Hi everyone, this is Sab here. Sab in Paris, in the outskirts of Paris, and going live on time. Hooray! Welcome, thanks for watching. If you're watching the replay, hello as well. Please say hello. And this is the day, this is the little series where I invite you to create something today and then share it. So I call it my 81-day drop-in creativity challenge. And on the right, I say, what will you create today? And that is my ongoing question. What will you create today, folks? I was just listening to, by one of those coincidences, you listen to one thing, it makes you think of another song, then another song. And then I was just on my way here listening to The Move. Do you remember them? They're a group as old as I am. The Fire Brigade or something, called the Fire Brigade. And funnily enough, I'm just next to the fire station. How about that? I'm by the lake. Weather report, overcast, bit grey and a bit chilly, to be honest. And creativity report, well, I finished a painting today and I did my Paris photograph and I did my Paris text, and that's pretty much it so far. I also decided to stop eating chocolate, ice cream, sugary drinks, soda, and what's the other thing? Crisps. And Americans call them chips. I've stopped that today. I have now stopped officially. That's the first part of my losing the 10 kilos that I just put on, having lost it, if you follow. Let me give you some mindfulness. And by the way, I want you to, do say hello if you're watching. Say hello in the comments, and I'll say hello in a second. It's from Mindful Thoughts for Bird Watchers today. Finding awareness in nature, and that's what I'm doing more and more these days, especially with lockdown, you know, the curfew. I've been getting out into nature and appreciating it more than ever before. This one started off a bit miserable sounding, but it gets a bit happier. And it's called Enemies, cheerfully enough. Not everyone appreciates or has respect for the birds of our world. For many people, they may be no more than a nuisance or even an irrelevance. Others may regard them as gun fodder for the sport of game shooting. Of equal concern, we have that here. Right around here in the woods, they can hunt. The hunt, la chasse as they call it. Of equal concern is the habitat, illegal in many countries, of some gamekeepers of snaring, poisoning or shooting the raptors of the area, the harriers, buzzards and golden eagles. Their loss is tragic and unnecessary. Biodiversity and the balance of nature badly need these beautiful creatures. We should not forget, too, that they have their own right to exist. It is their world just as much as ours. Another little paragraph. Then there is the annual, it gets worse before it gets more cheerful. Then there is the annual slaughter of small birds as they migrate in spring across the Mediterranean. The practice is defended on the grounds that it is a traditional right, but without any consideration of the changing world we live in and the increasing threat to the planet's biodiversity. A mindful appreciation of the birds we watch has to include an understanding of a wider picture of the world we inhabit. A rich web of life has evolved on this planet, a whole spectrum of species from microbes to mankind. We who have power must learn to live in a sustainable way that shows respect for all other life forms, recognizing the valuable part they play in the balance of our ecosystem. And I'm always tempted to say that we are the ones who are putting the imbalance in the ecosystem, good old humans. And sometimes I'm tempted to hate humans for that. But then I remember, well, I'm human and we kind of followed our instincts in trying to survive more and more, get more and more of us. But the thing is, we succeeded. And we succeeded so well that it's now become completely unbalanced. And because we seem to see ourselves as outside of the system of nature, we seem to feel that we have jurisdiction over the other creatures and plants. And we can use them for whatever we like. So, you know, if I fancy a new living room table made of oak, let's say, well, get me one. get me a table, and the table had to come from an oak tree. Is that a problem? Well, trees aren't just things that stick up out of the ground with green stuff on them. They actually give us the oxygen that we need to breathe and absorb the carbon dioxide which we need them to do to not die. So, you know, the table's very nice, and yet it would actually probably be, if I had to choose between being able to breathe and a table, I'd probably choose the former. In terms of creativity, just having a look. Thomas, hello Thomas. I'm not sure if I've got something from you today. I have a feeling I didn't get a picture from you. I'm going to show you my picture of the day, and it's this. It was on the banks of the River Seine in Paris, and this is going up towards the edge, towards the road level. And the reason I like this is because there's a random sort of woman putting her bag on or something, and her arm is at the same angle as the little creature. It looks like a frog wearing a funny hat, like an upside down funnel, with smoke coming out and smoking a pipe. So that's kind of interesting, isn't it? And what did I write about? I think I wrote something really deep and meaningful, but I'm not sure if I can read it or not. Shall I try? Why do we do anything? Do we really decide much at all in life? I'm not so sure. What I am sure about is that the down periods in the creative process, the apparent total absence of activity towards the desired outcome, are just as important as when you are playing around with particles or pixels, paragraphs or paint. I'm working on a commissioned infinity squared puzzle painting at the moment. How's it going? Well, I have the general concept and certain elements to possibly include supplied by the adoptress, and I also have all the materials I need, and I have the time. So do I get right down to it? No. I go for walks in the woods near me and eat crisps and feed ducks and write stuff like this. Should I feel bad about my slow progress? Shoulds are dangerous devil's spawn. My painting will now include crisps and ducks and wanders and wonders. That's all. It had to include them. And that's really everything we need to know. So that was my my wonderings about not getting on with what I should be getting on with. I realized that the final painting has to incorporate these walks, the things I eat, the things I do to not finish the painting. It's all important. It's all part of the painting. Here's a painting. This is one I've just finished. One I prepared earlier. And it's a funny one, kind of crazy one. That's it on its little easel. I think I called it Sun, Moon, Star. Sun, Moon, Star. And if you look, you might possibly see a sun and a moon and a star in there somewhere, amongst all the other stuff. And that is the 9 different views of it. And you can grab it if you want on infini2.com, infini2.com. I've got let's have a look at some of your stuff. This is from Jean. And Jean was very happy. Well, I don't know if she was happy. No, I don't want to say things she didn't say. She said that she handed in her demission for something she was on. And this is the photograph she posted. It was actually her letter, but you can see she's pretty much messed around with it. So there's probably quite a lot of emotion has gone into that photograph of the resignation letter from the thing that she did. So thanks for sharing that, Jean. Here's something from Kirsten. Just a crazy haired lady. This hair is so, I know Thomas loves this picture. I love the hair. But of course the face is absolutely beautiful. Without the face, the hair would be nothing. But the face with the hair is just amazing. And if you look at it closely, there's so much detail. Just another wonderful piece from a wonderful artist. And Thomas, I do have something from you. There you go. Not today. Thomas is saying, I can show you this. Not today. Today's thing is still to come. but you have something from yesterday or from the day before yesterday. Yeah, actually, I have now seen it, Thomas. This, which you said was the view from your childhood bedroom, I think. A beautiful view, and you said that you used to listen to the birds, and that there used to be, I think it was a blackbird that used to sit on one of the aerials singing. Isn't it amazing what we remember from childhood? I'm kind of assuming you don't live in the same bedroom as when you were a boy, and that you didn't just take this photograph a couple of minutes ago. But hey, what do I know? It's a beautiful photograph, very evocative, lovely clouds, and a very nice skyline. I love chimneys. I'm a big fan of chimneys, and we've got a lot of chimneys in Paris, even though we don't really use them anymore. We do have a lot of chimneys because they're not allowed to produce smoke in Paris. Right, nearly at the end. What else am I going to give you? I'll give you a quote. One of my sabisms. This is by Thomas Edison. And I don't think these are very accurate. They didn't necessarily say this exactly the same as they're quoted. But the quote is, genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Oh, nearly fell down the hole. At least not in the lake. And I was going to give you a goose report as well, a geese report. And my interpretation of that is, in other words, directionless invention gets you nowhere. He was the guy who, Thomas Edison, the guy who spent many, many, many attempts trying to get a working light bulb, and he eventually succeeded. And he said something like, I didn't fail, I just discovered, 1,000 ways that don't work. Or inventing a light bulb is a process with 1,000 steps. Something really cool like that. Anyway, this is something else cool he said. So, hard work makes Tom a bright boy. So you've got to put in the hours, folks, for your creativity to shine. I'm going to give you a goose report. I don't know if you can see, but on this island, this is an island, a tiny island. On this island is a goose. Under the goose, I think, are some eggs. And the man goose, the male goose, is sitting on the lake where? Is sitting on the lake there, I think, there. Just sort of chilling out, watching. But if anything goes near his woman, he runs at them, he flies at them and goes crazy. So that's the goose report for today. Still haven't seen any little ones. Oh, it's a nice reflection of the goose actually on the island in the water. I'll finish with a poem before encouraging you to get creative and do creative stuff with me, of course. Oh my God, I can hardly see it. I was looking through my poems. And you're probably reading that as I'm saying it. Pay attention to what I'm. Please, no. It's like as a teacher, I did this teaching thing yesterday, a teaching seminar. I haven't done one for ages on 9 creative ways or ways to be creative in the language classroom. And I remember being a teacher, and one of the things you learn in teacher training is give the instructions first, then give the handout. Otherwise, you've lost them as soon as they've got the thing in their hand. So that's why I unpublished my my poem there. I'm still looking at the years where I produced hardly any poems, and this one I think comes from a year where I produced 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 poems. I've quite a few years where I've produced many tens of poems, and there are some with 1 and some with 3 and 5, and there's even one year, I think it was 2015, 0 poems. I've written hundreds, so a year with 0, that must have been a pretty unproductive year. And I'm trying to think back to it, and I think it probably was, yes. Probably not a very cool year. Having said that, I often produce many poems when I'm particularly unhappy or in the shit, or, probably got to do with women sometimes, or offspring. Anyway, that's me rambling. So this comes from that, and it's kind of random. I don't really know what the deal is. This is called Problematic Tendencies. And it's actually about poetry. And I'm trying to work out with you what it's about. I think you have to have poems to be a prophet. But I meant to say, I think you have to have problems to be a poet. I've got problems, but I don't know if I'm a poet. And if I'm a prophet searching poems, I wouldn't know it. And I know a lot of problems that don't have poems, but I don't know many poets that don't have problems. Come to think of it, I don't know many poets, but the ones I do know all seem to have problems. And if I'm not mistaken, they all seem to end up writing them poems. Writing poems to their problems. That's a kind of funny thing, isn't it? That's from 2009. So I was thinking about poetry and problems. But at least I was writing. That's the whole point, you see. At least I was writing. I was getting it out there in a reasonably creative way. And on that note, please be creative. Send me something new and I will talk about it tomorrow. Anybody and everybody, if you're watching the replay, thank you. Please comment, please say hello so I know you watched. And now my blurb, a word from the sponsors, which is quite simply that my latest things, I've got a couple of masterclasses coming up. Photography one is starting in about a month. Creativity one is starting again in about 2 months. And this is a mastermind. If you want to come on a mastermind with me, we get together for about 3 months, once a week, 9 times at least, with maybe a couple of break weeks and another bonus week. We get together and we work on what we're passionately trying to produce. And a mastermind is an incredibly strong, powerful support group. We support each other and we move forward very, very strongly on our creative projects. And if you want to go find out all about that, go to this place, infinitecreativitynow.com/mastermind. And the other thing I am telling you about now is laser coaching for 1 year, unlimited laser coaching for 1 year. It's a new thing I'm trying out. I need guinea pigs who are ready to experiment on their own lives. What would unlimited coaching, creativity coaching, so it's not for people with massive problems and stuff, although we can talk about anything you like. It's about you being as creative in any area of your life as you would like to be. And the way it works is you book up a session. We have the session. It's a short session. It's a very focused session. It's not a long session. And then you go away with something to do. You do it. As soon as you've done it, you can book the next session. We have another session. You go away with another task. And the idea is that in a year, you will progress incredibly in your productivity and your creativity. So it's unlimited. You just have to do the work in between, which is the whole point. That's what you're supposed to be doing, forging ahead on your project by project, and you'll be amazed at how creative you can be. So check that out if you want to. That was at where was that? That was at infinitycoaching.biz/laser. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you again tomorrow and see what the weather's like tomorrow. How's the weather where you are? Do you have a lake like this? It's actually not officially a lake, it's a pond, according to the sign. I don't know what the difference is. If you do, let me know. I've got a theory that a lake is fed by a stream coming into it, and maybe a stream goes out of it as well. And a pond is just sort of water sitting there. Well, that's it for now. I'll leave you with some. I've given you maybe some reflections for your mind, and here's some reflections for your eyes. Happy creating.